Now from Phoenix, president of the American Islamic Forum for Democracy, Dr. Zhudi Jasser. He's the author of the book, Battle for the Soul of Islam. Also with us from Washington, senior contributor for the Daily Caller and columnist at The Week, Matt Lewis. And we want to pick up on our conversation earlier about President Obama's remarks at the prayer breakfast when he reflected on some of the dark moments from the history of Christianity when discussing religious extremism.
Doctor, let's begin with you.
Some found it insulting.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people obviously trying to figure out the moral equivalency between Christianity 800 years ago and Islamic extremism today. What were your thoughts on what the president said yesterday at the prayer breakfast?
Well, I have to tell you, Joe, as somebody who's dedicated my life to Islamic reform and countering the cancer that's within the ideologies that create groups like ISIS, ISIS is a symptom. And for the president to do a moral equivalency of Christianity from 1,000 years ago to what's happening today without mentioning the word Islam, really, without mentioning the Islamic Republic of Iran or the OIC or Saudi Arabia, but basically saying ISIS is the comparison, it's absurd. And I think had he given the vision of what's happening, that Islam needs to go through reform, needs to separate mosque and state, needs to go through an anti-theocracy movement, that's fine. But to say that comparison of this vicious savagery that's happening under ISIS with the entire Christian community and what was done at the time of the Crusades, I think is absurd. And not to mention, what is the relevance today? How does the president lead? And this is what really upsets me, is that he's not engaging reformers. He met with Muslims in the White House yesterday. He's not engaging feminists and gay rights activists and liberals and others who want to bring reform and counter theocracy against the Saudi Republic and against the Iranian Islamic Republic. He mentioned Pastor Abdini in Iran, but didn't call it the Islamic Republic. So, you know, it's just sort of too much coddling and not enough frank language from the president.